What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio right here on Spreaker.com, broadcasting in replay later on BeyondRingside.com. It's myself, Stan Grubb, and the other parts of the Triple Threat are here live with us tonight. The doctor is in. What's going on, Brian?
How are you?
I'm alive and kicking, sir.
I'm doing all right. Good.
I'm doing okay. Might go to Lowe's later. I don't know if there'll be enough time.
It was a tough week.
Tough week. Don't know what to do with my hands. We had a real good race. Thought the guys did a good job. Oh,
Put
man.
a Jimmy in the booger wedge.
Oh, whoa, hey. I thought we didn't talk about that. Man, oh man, tons of stuff to talk about. One of the first things to talk about is going to be a news story sent out to us on Facebook, of course, from the one and only Del Wilkes, the Patriot. We'll get into that here, but of course, also joining us this evening, the one and only the Killer Rob Hefner. Rob, how you doing?
Crickets.
I'm doing pretty good, Stan. Thanks for asking. It's been a great week. Had a chance to go up and watch. Hey.
God, you know, it really sucks being this old in life and still being just a big fat mushroom face.
Shit.
Hey, he's not here. You might as well get your shots in while you can, right?
Damn.
What we need is like a sock puppet or something. Take the place of Rob.
Hi, everybody. My name's Rob. It's good to be here. This guy's hand is up my rear end, but that's okay. I'm comfortable.
That's funny.
Too
Already.
much
just
fun.
Like off the rail.
We haven't even gotten going yet. Not enough steam in the engine.
I think there's always steam in the engine. I didn't want to do that. Yeah, that's funny, though. I miss old Rob. Wish he could have been here.
Well, the guy's a busy man. He's got a lot of things to tend to. A lot of irons in the fire.
In the fire. Mm-hmm.
In the fire.
Probably taking a deuce.
Deuce?
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah, at least he left a microphone in the other room. I'd have been up. Hey, I'm just going in here for a minute. Don't mind the echo.
Whoosh.
What? What?
Maybe that last bit of Chipotle finally caught up to him. Who knows? Oh, my goodness. So, nice to be back live. And hey, how about this? A little bit of bragging here for me because I feel good about it. I got the audio working.
Yay.
Woo.
Well, let's just again not go through 2 hours of this and only to find out it didn't record, fellas. I'm sorry.
Well, at least I did find it, thank God. That would have sucked.
Yeah, that's a treat in itself for you, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, finding it? Oh, you mean the show? Yeah. Yes, of course. Finding the show is always a treat. What were you talking about, sicko? So,
alrighty.
First things first, news that comes
on the
through
agenda
on Facebook. Dudley, Georgia.
Dun, dun, dun.
So there's a Legends event that was held in Dudley, Georgia.
Wait, we should do news flash. Dudley, Georgia.
Where a gentleman by the name of Greg Green, I don't know this guy. I've never heard his name. But apparently decided he was going to hold an event where he invited all sorts of great legends like Arn Anderson, Ole Anderson, Paul Orndorff, Tom Pritchard, Ted DiBiase, Nikita Koloff, Tully Blanchard, Barry Windham,
Rick Steamboat.
Rick Steamboat, Bullet Bob Armstrong, Ron Simmons, Dutch Mantell, Raven, Larry Zbyszko, and a slew of other people, including Tracy Smothers. Great event, right? Sounds like a real good time. Well, here is the problem. In holding the event, Mr. Green claims that there were 120 VIP tickets sold, approximately $12,000 worth, through Eventbrite. Eventbrite.com does a lot of ticket sales for local establishments and private events. Apparently, he was expecting to have this money in hand. Well, as fate would have it, apparently the money never showed in his account from the ticket sales. Awkward.
Did IRS finally get his
I
big
think
payday?
maybe the $1 Million Man had a hand in it. I don't know. I can't prove it. Maybe Virgil was there. I don't know.
Whoa.
But here's what we do know. In the events that occurred, Mr. Green apparently attempted to explain to the wrestlers that the money did not show up in his account and says there is no money to pay you, regrettably. So, our good friend, Del Wilkes, being the upstanding man that he is, and of course, the enforcer, AA Arn Anderson as well, decided to take Mr. Green for a ride. Stuffed him in their car, drove him to the bank that his wife was waiting at. Remarkable. They made sure to connect up with his wife so they can make sure that the boys got paid. Took care of getting his checkbook, and then at the same time, when they get back to the event with checkbook in hand, found the money guy, the person holding the money bag. Del, of course, gets his payout. My understanding of it is that he left the venue at this time. After, of course, meeting the fans. Arn Anderson, also, Tully Blanchard was on the phone calling out to different wrestlers who hadn't made it yet, making sure they were aware of the situation. Which, from my understanding, is the right thing to do. If you're going to an event and you're expecting to be paid, you find out you're not going to be paid, yeah, make sure you warn your friends and your coworkers and make sure that they're not getting stiffed on the job either. Now, not to say that there was not a desire to perform for the fans that were indeed in attendance. Tyson Dean, the NWA North American champion, and a good list of other wrestlers were also on hand and did perform, including America Strong. Let's see here. Too Cold Scorpio, Sal Renaro. Let's see, Tommy Pinarelli, who actually I've had a chance to talk to him before. He's a pretty nice guy. Just a number of different folks that were there and booked to appear that actually did perform. So they did put on the show for the fans, and actually were able to, even if it was a small amount, go ahead and split the money that came in. Disaster type situation when you think about it because of the legends that were booked, but a good ending at least, where at least the fans were able to get their money's worth.
Yeah, that's just wrong. And the bad part is it makes it hard for somebody who wants to do it next time.
Agreed.
Who may actually pull it off with no problems. Yeah, if you ain't got the money to pay your talent, I'd just soon you cancel the thing or something, postpone it, whatever. Come up and tell me your grandma's sick, something, until you can get the money for the talent.
It's a huge risk you run when you don't make sure you got the money on hand. I know of some wrestlers in today's regional and territory promotions that not only would have made sure that they got whatever it was that was coming to them, they also would have taught this idiot young man a lesson the old school way, and that would have been whipping his ass until they finally got what they felt they deserved, which would have either been his money or whatever else they would have taken out of the situation.
Yeah, luckily probably for him, the cops did show up from what I read.
Yeah, they got a sheriff involved, and the checks, if they don't clear the checks that he wrote to the different talent that was still there, the ones that did not leave without a dime in their hand, if their checks don't clear, apparently charges will be filed. So, the right steps were followed there. I can see where tempers could get the better of different people in that situation, but I'm glad no one got hurt.
Right.
Because there's no need for that. That just makes the situation even uglier, and nobody wins in that situation.
That's true. So, I mean, again, some of these guys probably never do this. There was a boatload of names, and, again, this is how they get treated, when they okay, let's go. Let's go do one of these, and this is what happens. It's pretty pathetic.
And, I mean, you feel bad for the ones that the talent that does get booked for these events, that maybe this is what they count on to do what they need to do to pay bills. Not that I would hope. I mean, I don't know for certain, of course, but I would hope that the ones that are in that bad of a spot were able to come away with some money, because that's just awful. And I would hope that there's not very many out there that are that. God, I hate to even use the word, but desperate. Because if you're that far down on your luck, man, that's got to be a tough time.
I wouldn't necessarily call what they do desperate. Look at how much money they probably generate.
I mean, when the event's done correctly, I mean, just like with what we saw in Charlotte, I think that's a benefit, and that's good. I'm talking more about the times where, like what we've read about, it just puts everybody in a uncomfortable position, I think.
I guess I'll give you that.
And
I
again,
won't argue.
I mean, I'm certainly not trying to speak ill.
Oh, yeah, you're arguing.
Oh, no.
What?
I'm not trying to do that. What?
I'm just kidding.
I ain't scared. Say it's scared.
Sweet Sugar Brown.
I'm going to put this here foot on your head. Billy Jack has been channeled here on Corner to Corner. You step away from the negative and you go straight to the positive. Another solid week of performances from the Cruiserweight Classic.
Let me ask you this, since you brought it up.
Go for it.
When was the absolute last time that you could remember watching not one, not two, but so far all three of the top 5 matches of the year? You know what I'm saying? Because we saw Sane and Nakamura, we saw Charlotte and Sasha, and now we saw Cedric and Ibushi, and that was excellent. And I can't recall any other year where I've been fortunate enough to catch all of them so far.
Well, I mean, and then, of course, you've got John Cena and Kevin Owens before all of that, which was, in my opinion, what most people would consider a Match of the Year candidate in 2015. So, I mean, it's amazing that so many good matches have been taking place in such a short amount of time, especially with Sasha and Charlotte and now Cedric and Ibushi. The match with Ibushi, I don't know. I really can't think of a time seeing two cruiserweights go that hard, that long, and still have the psychology of it, because it was really playing off well.
Right. Well, I would imagine, because I'm sure they've probably tied up before, and with the whole Ring of Honor, New Japan crossovers. So I'm sure, they've probably wrestled a time or two. But I don't know what in the world was in the water that day for them to just go out there and do what they did. It was crazy. I think you saw it first, and luckily you didn't spoil it, and then I saw it, and I was like, oh my goodness gracious.
Well, I mean, it's one of the things that means the most, especially with something like the Cruiserweight Classic, is giving everyone an opportunity to really drink it in, to quote Chris Jericho. I mean, you have to be able to see it, get a true feel for it. I mean, I could have tried to describe it to you, but I don't know that I would have ever done it justice.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And then for old Triple H to come out at the end. So my question is, was he responding to the fans and say, okay, let me go out there and play this up a little bit? Or was he just like, come on, bud. We don't put up with this crap here next.
no grandstanding here, sucker.
Yeah, we got another match lined up. Let's go.
I don't know. The crowd, it was a Daniel Bryan kind of feel Please sign Cedric, please sign Cedric. That was the chant at the end of the night.
Right.
That's tremendous. And to have Triple H come out there and basically go, okay, give everybody the nod, put his arm around him and take him on backstage. I was impressed. I was really impressed with that. And plus the pure emotion coming from Cedric after that matchup. You get the feeling he came out more of a winner, at least for the night, than Ibushi.
Right. Oh, yeah, most definitely. I don't mind. I know you sometimes have problems with crowds like that go crazy and get to chanting all the time. I don't have a problem with it, but I don't know if I've ever quite seen that happen. Where now again, there's no doubt if you're going to bring Cedric in, for this cruiserweight tournament, odds are you're going to sign him somewhere down the line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, with 32 different top caliber talents, you have to be thinking long term, and I'm sure Triple H is doing that. Who are we going to sign from this, and who's going to come out the victor?
Right.
The question
but
will
to
be
get
who wins and do they get signed?
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's probably one already signed.
Were you surprised to see Tajiri bounced out so quickly?
Oh, I almost kind of believe Kendrick will be next. And the only reason why is we know what they have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We know what they got. We want to, they want to. How do I, without sounding like an idiot or just some loudmouth. I think they were the supplemental talent for this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well let's go find some veterans that we know can do this, and we'll bring them in. And we're not expecting them to win. They're just kind of, their enhancement to try and get some of these other guys over, give them a big win, and I think that's probably what they were there for. So I wasn't shocked. And again, I think Kendrick will go out before it's all said and done too.
Well, the report still is out there that Grand Metalik was signed during the first round, so that's a good sign that we're seeing these different new talents come up as well. Rob, are you back with us yet, buddy?
I am here. How
there
are
we
you all?
go. We're good, brother. We're good. So, Rob, had you had a chance to catch up on the Cruiserweight Classic?
I have not, but I've been reading the tweets and I've been watching through social media. I seem like a really doofus not to watch it because it seems awesome.
It's really a different type of feel with this tournament. I mean, cruiserweights, when you think of cruiserweights, most times you're thinking of either the WCW cruiserweight division or you're thinking of some of the Lucha Underground that you see, maybe Chikara and some of the others that are like that. But this is a completely different feel. It's much more technical than I would have thought it would have been.
Just speaking on my behalf, as have held the WCW Cruiserweight belt. Yes, you might not find that on Wikipedia, people, but I have held the WCW Cruiserweight title. What I saw the other night with you guys, it was just very fast paced, very new age, but with that still kind of touch to the past, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. It gives a bit of an homage or a nod to the past cruiserweight divisions that we've seen.
Mm-hmm. So, are you trying to figure out how I've held the cruiserweight title?
Was it like the DDT Pro Iron Man title?
Well, technically, since Shane Helms left it unattended on his table, and I picked it up and held it.
You did hold the championship.
I technically held the championship.
That Joker was heavy. That really floored me. I wonder. So with the TV titles, the NWA title that we had there, all of the different belts that we've seen as far as replicas, what are they using to make these belts? Because that thing was really heavy.
Now, was that a replica or was that the real deal?
Oh, I imagine that was a real deal.
I'm pretty sure that was real.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell you, the belts that we held during the Midnight Express photo op, those were awesome.
That was really cool. I mean, just the different tag team titles that were there. The WWF tag title that Animal held, or had at the event was pretty cool. I mean, it's crazy to me.
Can you imagine paying to he flew there,
Right.
Like, how do you do you do that? Do you leave your shoulder pads and your wrestling belt in your carry on, or do you check that at baggage claim?
Oh, security would eat that up.
What's
that?
How many?
They start putting them on, walking around the airport.
I was going to say, how many pictures of TSA agents are sitting there?
Yeah, what a rush, brother.
I'm sure he's like, stop it. Give me my shoulder pads.
He's like, why are you going through my bag?
Get your hands off my stuff. Man, oh man. So then, of course, now when you look forward into the bracket, you got Tony Nese still. You've got Brian Kendrick. It's Kendrick and Nese next week, right?
I think so.
So how does Brian Kendrick get past Tony Nese?
See, again, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they do. I would be really surprised if Kendrick made it out of this round. And again, there's nothing wrong with it. He will have done his job, especially if he puts Nese over. He'll have done exactly what he was brought in for. That's just me. I think they're there to put over the new faces.
Well, and it certainly seems like they're doing a good job of it. I think that, especially with Tajiri, he did a great job of putting over not just the first round, but also in the second round. Just showing through the tournament, it's really indicative of how important he is to the industry.
Yeah. Again, some people can do that and others can't. So it's nice to see, hey, we're going to bring you in for a tournament. Oh, by the way, you're not winning this thing, but we want you to put these guys over, that people will still do it.
So if you had a prediction, if you had to go out on a limb after seeing this much in this tournament, do you have a pick or a selection that you think is going to go all the way?
Maybe Sabre Jr. For me, maybe. If you could hear that.
I still think that Ibushi might still be their choice, but man, it's just it's a tough call. It really is, because of all of the people that are still in the tournament. There's a lot of solid talents that you could really see going all the way here. I'm trying to pull up the brackets right now just so we can take a quick look.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if, in my opinion, and again, no slight to anybody, I don't even know if, Gargano, or however you say it, would be earmarked to win. I think it's going to be just a fresh talent. And I would imagine when it's all said and done, the guy that wins is going to be the first champion for the division. So that's why I think it'll be somebody new, somebody that they'll probably move on up.
And then, of course, SummerSlam was coming up. You know that the WWE is trying to really push hard for this. I've been reading that there's a rumor of the Cruiserweight title being unveiled at SummerSlam.
That would be cool.
It'd be interesting. That's for sure.
Do you think they're ready?
Oh, of course. A lot of these guys are on the world stage and not just WWE ready.
I mean, the thing about the Cruiserweight Classic is, aren't these guys all proven pros somewhere else? I mean, they're all like they all have a following in their certain niche, isn't that right?
Yeah, I would agree.
So, what do you think the chances of them taking the finals to the Cruiserweight Classic and putting it on SummerSlam? Winner gets the belt.
I think that it's plausible. We could end up seeing. We really could end up seeing a lot of these um, different matchups start unfolding more on NXT and lead to SummerSlam. With the show itself, it's been impressive. So what we see coming out of it, it's anybody's guess. So here's what we have so far. We have Kendrick taking on Nice this week. We've got Ibushi and Cedric, who...
Bless you.
Thank you. Who we just saw. You have Johnny Gargano and TJ Perkins, Lindsay Dorado, and Rich Swann. So we've got Dorado and Swann and Nice and Kendrick this coming week. Then we go to the other side of the brackets. We've got Tozawa and Gallagher. Slater.
That's going to be good.
I was really impressed with Gallagher's first round. I mean, I really enjoyed watching that one. That was a good one.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, he's so different than anything you would normally see around, in the States.
And then next we've got Drew Gulak versus Zack Sabre Jr., which should be a submission fan's dream between the two of them.
Yeah.
And then rounding that out, we've got, gosh, I'm just going back through. We got Ho Ho Lun versus, I believe that's Noam Dar. I don't remember watching Noam Dar's match. I feel bad for that, but that could be a good one too. Could be a sleeper.
I think he might have been like on the first one, one of the ones that got overshadowed pretty quick by the rest. Because the first 2 weeks there were like one or two matches that it was almost like, oh, how do we get here? You know what I'm saying? Compared to the rest of them.
You always have spot fillers. In every great organization, there's always someone who has to fill a spot.
And that could very well be what they were doing with, just like Brian said, with Kendrick, with Tajiri. But also, with some of these guys, like Noam Dar, I'm sure there's a familiarity out there for him, but I can't think of any time.
Hey, I did see the one match with Tajiri, and I will have to say that for a person who's been around the business as long as he has, the matches were still, of the higher quality.
Mm-hmm.
You see it all the time with the guys that do, because, the cruiserweight style was a basis of what a lot of the guys do in the heavyweight division today. You saw the cruiserweights and you're like, all right, we're going to see some high flying, some risk moves, some flips, some cool stuff. You didn't see that in the heavyweight matches, but now you do. But it was good to see those that can still go.
That's true. Seeing the mixture of styles has really been cool. Just seeing the submission, the technical, the high flying, all of it mixed very well. And even some of the old school styles like Jack Gallagher brings to the table. So we've really got a good mixture there. It's an entertaining tournament to say the least. Hey, we're coming up on our first break of the evening. We'll take a brief pause and we'll jump right back into it. Really, there's so much to talk about. We're going to be going through our thoughts on Raw, Raw, Smackdown Live, and
Mike,
also...
are you waiting for us to come in?
No. All of a sudden, I had audio playing on my headset. I couldn't figure out where it was coming from.
The voices in my head.
And
paging Randy Orton.
There is a little TNA news that maybe we should touch on.
Yeah, I was reading a little bit about that. We'll have to dive into some TNA. I guess we call them spoilers.
Well, I don't know.
Last minute try to save your butts?
Mine would be more of the announcement with management, I guess, as opposed to some spoilers. But we can definitely touch on the big one as well. So, but we'll do that after the break.
That's right.
Take
So,
us
hey,
out, Stan.
stick with us right here on Spreaker.com as we broadcast live for Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio. We'll be right back here in just a few moments. Hey, don't forget that Queens of Combat will be live on Friday, September 16th in Gibsonville, North Carolina. Then again on Saturday in Gastonia, North Carolina for September 17th. Live action for Queens of Combat. Check them out over at combatqueens.com. We'll be right back.
Creeds.
Bueller. Are we clear?
No. Give me a second.
Oh, you
We're not clear. Stan, no. So we shouldn't talk about, your incident at the hotel bar?